Welcome to the first episode of the Monday Night Bore. I am Lowblow.
I'm Cid Lectro.
And I'm Clean Gene.
And we just got done watching Nitro, the first one, and then I guess the second one, and then the corresponding Raw episode. The first episode we saw was September 4th, 1995 at the Great American Mall, and it was the Nitro episode, the debut Nitro episode. And what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's just start with WCW Monday Nitro. Got started off right with the Joy Buzzer thing between Jim McMichael and Bobby the Brain.
Steve McMichael.
Yeah, it was Steve McMichael.
Steve Mongo McMichael.
Right.
And Bobby the
Not
Brain.
Jim. It was a test.
Yeah. So our announcers were Eric Bischoff, Steve Mongo McMichael, and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention. I'll just put that out there. I've never been a Nitro fan. Never been a WCW fan. And this is going to be sure torture. Because we're going to try to watch each of them, I guess, corresponding the back and forth between the two. And then review them, I suppose.
Right until the end of Nitro.
Right until the end of time.
Right now it is not too bad because the episodes are only 45 minutes each without commercials.
I guess it gets worse and
it's
better.
gonna suck when they get to be 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Yeah. So the show opened up with the opening match of Brian Pillman versus Jushin Thunder Liger. They said Jushin Liger was one of the biggest stars in Japan, which is actually true.
It's good to know.
This was a pretty sloppy match, I thought. Not as good as you'd think. They're both well-regarded workers in the ring, but it's pretty sloppy.
Brian Pillman wasn't great, but according to Steve McMichael, he gave it to him the way he wanted it.
Yeah, there was some commentary.
The commentary was, not great.
Yeah, it's just weird watching this because of the 90s and everyone's dressed in 90s style, and it's just weird. Is that all we have to say about that one?
Pillman won clean with a roll-up. Not much going on there.
Kind of pretty weak finish.
Yeah.
Not much happens. A lot of the matches are mercifully short.
Well, it's in a mall.
Yeah. I just mean on all 3 episodes of these shows that we watched in general.
There weren't tons of false finishes and stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Next up was a promo from Hulk Hogan.
Ooh.
Talking about Pastamania.
Fuck yeah. He said Pastamania or Pastamaniac 7 times in his 2-minute promo.
Pastamania has got all my Hulkamaniacs running wild. And I've eaten so many Hulkaroos and Hulk-U's, I kind of feel sorry for Big Bubba, brother. And with Pastamania running through my brain and all my Pastamaniacs, I'm going to give Big Bubba a dose of my Hulkaroos up there. And then I'm going to Pastamaniacs. I've been eating my Pastamania. And what you going to do in the Mall of America, brother, when Hulk Hogan, Pastamania, and all my Pastamaniacs run wild on you?
He was really good.
Yeah. He's eating his Hulkaroos.
Yeah, evidently it was a marketing tie-in with a mall kiosk restaurant that served fast food Chef Boyardee, and they had Hulkaroos, which were just Hulk-shaped pasta, and it sounds fucking gross.
Hulk Hogan mentioned several times he was slim and trim from eating his pasta at Pastamania.
Yeah, I mean, it's dieting food, really. I think eventually the FDA had to shut them down because of the amount of steroids in their pasta.
Well, yeah, where do you think you lose all the weight?
I guess he moved on from eating his vitamins and saying his prayers to eating pasta.
Yeah, he's got to use Hulkaroos.
Yeah, Hulkaroos.
So he also set up a match for the main event against Big Bubba, who's also known as the Big Boss Man.
What?
So he also said this was going to be the first time the World Championship was on the line on Monday Nitro. Any other thoughts on this segment?
What the fuck was the segment again? Can we swear?
The Hulk Hogan promo?
We can swear, right?
I don't care.
Yeah.
The Hulk Hogan promo, I don't know,
It was pasta.
incredibly stupid. And at the start, my favorite part was he was like, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" And then like two people were like, "Hulkamania."
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. Continue.
So next up was a match with Ric Flair and Sting.
Purple Sting.
I kind of remember that one.
So shortly after this match started, Lex Luger came out for about 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. And they were like, oh, look at Lex Luger. And that was, you said, the
Right.
surprise of the episode?
Yeah, so at the time this was kind of a big deal because he was just under contract with WWF. I believe was on the previous episode of Raw and then just showed up on Nitro without any notice. But watching it now was kind of nothing.
Like
Because
me-
he
yeah,
did nothing. He walked
exactly.
out for 10 seconds. No one really said much other than, oh my god, what is he doing here?
And it kind of so far is like a running theme with Luger. He'll show up and he'll say like one sentence and then be
Walk
like,
away.
"Well, that's it," and leave.
Yeah.
So you're saying they shut their wad with that surprise reveal?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of strange, I thought.
And just for the record,
It's a different time.
Let the record show that Clean Gene said Sting was the best wrestler of all time.
No, that's not what I said.
He admitted it.
I remember something to
It's
that
been a
effect.
long-standing thing, and I finally got him to admit Sting is the single best wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it was an okay match. It's just, not particularly impressive. It wasn't the main event, so, I mean...
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. Kind of typical Ric
Yeah.
Flair type of match.
Yeah, a lot of signature moves.
Nothing bad.
The
Nothing
ref
great.
climbed the ropes a lot with him.
Yeah, that was
really
that
weird.
was strange. I don't think I've ever seen that before, where the referee
Yeah.
was climbing on the ropes to break up the
Holds and
Like a
stuff.
corner.
Yeah.
That's kind of
He's
strange.
really excited there. He's just starting off to trying to sell their new ref. Look at this guy. He gets in it. And then Sting, his weakness is like a chop to the inner thigh or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did a chop block.
And then Sting dropped for like a minute.
Tumble over. Yeah, that's
So
cute.
during this match, Arn Anderson came out, and
Oh, yeah.
the announcers were kind of making a big deal about that. I guess
He's
Ric Flair and Arn Anderson had been feuding
Yeah, it sounds
recently,
like they had
and they weren't sure if they had made up or not. So match ends up with Flair. Flair puts Sting in the figure 4 and starts using the ropes for leverage and refuses to break the ropes.
The ref's jumping on the ropes like, you gotta get up!
So the ref calls for disqualification
Was
on
it?
Flair.
Wasn't there interference in that, or no?
No, not till
After
the
the
after.
match.
Oh, after the match.
So yeah, Flair refuses to break the hold even after the match. So Arn Anderson comes in, attacks Flair to get him to break the hold on Sting.
Arn Anderson, they have like a slap fight. And then
Oh, yeah.
Flair
Yeah, real
runs
quick
away.
brawl, and then Flair just takes off, and then
Like security.
Anderson came back in the ring and kind of squared off against Sting, but nothing really happened there. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, someone's yelling at the announce table.
What happened?
We've got Scott Norton yelling at Eric Bischoff
Oh,
about
yeah.
a contract he had signed. And
Yeah, it was like a weird side dispute. Arguing over, like...
Something, yeah.
Yeah, Arn Anderson, corn dogs,
then-
I don't know.
And then out of nowhere, the Macho Man comes out.
well, before that, Mongo, McMichael, and Scott Norton
yeah.
start getting each other's faces.
Right.
And then Macho Man comes out and challenges Norton to a match right then and there.
They just like sit there yelling at each other.
You want to do it with me, brother? Get in the ring and we can do it right now.
But Bischoff tells Scott Norton if he steps in the ring, he'll never wrestle in WCW. And then they just cut to a commercial break.
Yeah.
That was
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
that. Next up was a promo video for Sabu.
Sabu.
It was very blurry.
Lots of motion blur.
I got motion
Sabu's
sickness.
Like, I don't know what he's supposed to be.
He was blurry.
It's like a
Yeah,
mystical entity.
he is. He's like a magical butterfly or something.
Yeah, not much there. Just kind of a highlight reel.
Promo. Yeah.
Then we had Mean Gene in the ring to announce the winner of a Harley Davidson contest.
Oh, congratulations.
And that was it. He announced the winner, and then they cut away.
Congratulations, Mike Cock of Alabama. You have won a 1995
Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson,
Yeah.
which is Kelly Blue Book, $5 right now.
Yeah. Sitting on a block in
it's,
somewhere in Alabama.
yeah, it's
And then
What?
we had backstage, we had at the time, Michael
Wall Street.
He cut a promo. I don't think he really said anything.
No.
I don't remember anything of note that
He
he
said,
here.
I'm rich and I do stuff.
Was one thing to note though. The
What's
green
that?
screen was really fucked up.
Right, so you could see...
On the left side?
On the right side,
Right
you could
side.
see the arena
Yeah.
when he
the
was
promo.
supposed to be in a different room. I don't
Yeah.
know. This might have been his debut, I'm not sure.
I would imagine so if they were still screwing around with the character name.
Yeah, well, spoilers.
Oh!
Yeah. Come on.
Next up, we got the main event already. We got Big Bubba versus Hulk Hogan for the World Championship.
Big Bubba
Rogers.
This is Boss Man, right?
Yep. Big boss man. He wrestles in suspenders.
So I noticed in the front row there was 2 signs. One that said Hogan sucks, and one that said Hogan is a wimp. So
That's true.
even in '95, it looks like some fans were already turning against Hogan. Kind of set up his heel run, which he started in '96.
I think those were time
Yeah.
travelers.
Yeah.
Time
Like-
travelers from our time.
It was a pretty standard match, but we kind of at least Clean Gene had not a revelation, but just observed that Hulk Hogan constantly does heel shit in the ring, like face pokes, pulling hair.
Yeah, I've never really understood the appeal of Hulk Hogan. I don't understand
Pasta.
how he became this huge icon and legend in wrestling.
Uh,
I've never liked his promos. He's always been bad in the ring. And even when he worked as a face and was like the top baby face, he worked as a heel for the most part in the ring.
Yeah,
But fans still cheered him even though he was cheating.
yeah.
But he was cheating against people who they didn't
And
like.
even if you're going the superficial route of how one of the reasons current champion Roman Reigns is picked because he has the look like Hogan doesn't even fit that.
It seems to me that he became popular because he was decent enough on the microphone, I guess, and well, I mean, for the time, and I guess one of his big things was the feud with Andre the Giant, and that was a big push for him. So I guess that it just snowballed, and he became recognizable. And just being the most recognizable is probably all it takes to become super popular.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was doing something right to have such a good career, but he just never appealed to me, ever. So this was a pretty bad match. Typical Hogan match, not much going on. He won the match with a leg drop. And then the Dungeon of Doom hits the ring, which
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
becomes a running theme on Nitro at this time, it appears. So Lex Luger came out to save Hogan. And then Hogan and Luger start arguing.
Yelling.
Yes, Hogan says, "What are you doing here? Go back where you belong."
Luger says, "I'm going to tell you the story. I do everything you do."
I've seen you wrestle and you're playing games, and
Hogan,
if you want to touch me
and
in
then
the ring,
Lex Luger's like, wait. Excuse me, sir. Would you please let me finish?
yes, I will.
I want a shot at the title too. I'm here to get it on with the big boys.
Well, I've seen you play with the little boys, and I'm okay with you playing with the big boys. So if you want to play with the big boys, you can take my hand and shake it around.
Well, then I guess we have an accord, sir.
I do declare.
See ya.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So Sting and Macho Man broke up the fight,
Yeah.
and then Mean Gene hit the ring, and they did that promo where Luger talked about how he was there with the big boys to play, and he wanted to wrestle the best, and that's Hulk Hogan.
And interesting, didn't they? They were alluding to the is it Fall Brawl? Am I getting this right, or am I?
Yep, Fall Brawl's the next big
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
coming
So
up.
they were alluding to the fact that Vader was AWOL. I guess he was supposed to be in that with those people, right? Sting, Homeboy, and the other guy.
They actually mentioned that until the next episode.
Well, they showed pictures of. They showed him in the debut. They showed some Vader clips.
Okay.
We're talking about him.
And then being Hogan, after they had their little handshake agreement, Hogan ended it by pushing Luger.
Right, so they agreed to have a title match the next week on
Okay.
Nitro. Had a handshake, and then Hogan who's supposed to be the face,
Shove him.
just pushes Luger out of nowhere.
It was a shoving.
For no reason.
No, I mean, they shook hands and it seems very cordial. But
Again, it's very strange behavior from someone that's supposed to be your top babyface.
Yeah. Then the episode just ends with a bunch of like 5 different people yelling between like the ring and then the ringside and then the announce table.
it was just ended in chaos.
You got Mongo McMichael holding a chihuahua dressed in a devil outfit.
Yeah.
And
It made sense.
I
Though.
don't know where this chihuahua came from or why it was there. It was not there at the start of the show, I don't believe.
Pulled it out of his ass. Just straight out of his ass.
And yeah.
Yeah, so that was the end of the debut episode of Nitro. What do you guys think overall?
I've never been a WCW fan, like, at all, and this was okay. It was. I appreciate watching it just to say I've seen it, and it was a slice of history because I mean, I can't go out and get my Hulkaroos anymore. I don't think that they still have Pastamanias at the malls, so that's interesting. But yeah, I don't give a shit.
I guess the biggest thing for me was seeing another Sting match because not at this time, 95, but a little later on, I watched a WCW guy.
Yeah, Sid had quite the chubby
And
for
Sting
him.
never
I
wrestled.
had Sting.
He had a Sting
I love
chubby.
Sting, but I had never actually seen him wrestle
He just stood in the
until like
Right now.
basically like a couple years ago. I first saw like an old match of his.
And you're like, wow, look at him getting off on this.
Yeah, there was one decent match.
You're gonna say the Flair match?
Yeah, not much else going on.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were kind of, I mean, obviously they were new to this whole live format.
Yeah, they're not new to wrestling though.
No, but
it's not much of an
It
excuse.
seemed like they were trying to really like have surprises
Oh,
Yeah.
keep
out of
energy.
nowhere, like
Yeah.
the Luger thing that they didn't do much with.
No, they didn't do anything with.
And the Scott Norton thing was just kind of confusing.
Yeah, they hadn't really like they didn't really get how to do that kind of thing yet.
Yeah.
I guess. I think it's the same with the yelling. They're just trying to keep like, oh look how exciting it is. Keep the excitement up. We just gotta yell all the time, brother.
Keep shouting.
Keep
and
shouting.
Keep rolling. and
Hulkamania's
eat
gonna
your-
hawk this pasta.
Eat the pasta.
Yeah, I mean overall it wasn't a terrible
Wasn't
watch. 'Cause It was
atrocious.
pretty short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was 3 hours of this, that'd be pretty terrible.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
Well, I mean,
To be fair, it was, I guess, a little more entertaining than some of the old Raws from like '93 with people like Mantar on it.
Right.
Nitro number 2.
Nitro number 2, September 11th, 1995.
Never forget.
Yeah,
Never
the
forget.
second worst September 11th ever.
Hey man, there could have been a Nitro
It was
or
close
some
to-
other September 11th.
I'm sure there were a lot of bad September 11ths. That's among them. I'm not going to say it was worse.
Biggest thing I noticed in this episode was they had an arena and an announce table.
Right, so they're in an arena now. They're not in the mall.
It's a nice arena.
The pyro was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of
It's quaint.
it's like sparklers on the side.
Yeah, right?
But
It sounded like some Crack the Whips or something.
I mean, maybe that's just what things were like in 1995.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of pyros. You have a little bit of pyros, and you don't overdo it.
So again, we got Bischoff, Mongo McMichael, and Bobby the Brain Heenan as our announced crew. At the top of the show, they hyped up the debut of Sabu. Said Scott Norton would be in action, and we would have Luger and Hogan in the main event.
Yeah.
So basically, more of the same.
So they had a little recap video of what happened last week at the end of the show with Hogan and Luger, setting up the main event for this week.
Once again, the green screen was fucked up.
Yeah.
This time you could also see out at the top of it.
So I'm
that
not,
was even worse.
I'm not sure if that's just a thing where the tape that the WWE
Yeah.
has is just like a different aspect ratio than what was
Oh.
televised.
That's kind of what it seems like the
Could
way
be.
it's still like perfectly like this kind of like vertical
off.
line.
Could be.
Yeah.
be.
And then they announced Vader is AWOL.
Oh shit!
Will not be part of the pay-per-view. So Hogan's team will be down one man at War Games for Fall Brawl.
And I guess Vader, and they showed a clip of him from, and then I guess that's the first and last time he was ever seen on a Nitro, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he's gone after this. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not with WCW anymore, so.
So the first match is Alex Wright, Das Wunderkind versus Sabu.
Oh, yeah.
And Clean Gene had just been telling us that Sabu didn't last very long in WCW, and then I think it was Heenan said Sabu will be in the WCW for a long, long time.
We got Sabu versus Alex Wright. Sabu won with a victory roll off the top rope. Again, pretty sloppy match,
Well-
which Sabu is known for.
It was okay. I mean, I've watched a lot of really bad wrestling, so maybe I'm a little forgiving. I don't know.
Yeah, this is another really short match. And then after it was over, Sabu got a table and set it up, and he threw Alex Wright through it. And then after the match, he was disqualified, and Alex Wright was the retroactive winner.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
so-
fucking weird.
So he gets disqualified after the match, and the referee reversed the decision.
That's like a Raw 2 glitch in a
Yeah.
video game.
Mongo Michael said, "You gotta respect the rules in WCW."
The
Yep.
rules are
Even
I
after
was
the
going
match
to
is
say
over.
the match keeps going
yeah. You get
until your next match.
yeah. You can take away a win for sportsmanship after a match.
Right.
Whatever.
So yeah,
It's
Sabu
Sabu.
was kind of just a strange match for WCW because all he was known for was using
Hardcore.
chairs
Yeah.
and tables, and
Deathmatch.
none of that was allowed in WCW, so it didn't
It didn't quite.
Weird.
It was like it's sloppy, high flying shit.
Right.
didn't really make sense.
Luchador stuff, but without anything as precise. So yeah, it's sloppy. Okay, fine.
So after this match, Mean Gene called out Ric Flair to the ring. Ric Flair cut a promo on Arn Anderson saying he was staying at his hotel and calling his family instead of coming out and partying with Ric Flair like a real man would.
You know, he got a point there. I mean, like, calling my family or hanging out with Ric Flair. You gotta
Yeah.
hang out with Ric Flair. It's,
You're just not a man if you don't
Yeah.
hang out with Ric Flair.
yeah, you don't have the testicular fortitude, as they kept saying.
So I guess they're going to continue that feud.
Whatever.
And then Lex Luger came out of nowhere again. And Flair just kind of talked him up about how amazing he was and
Yeah.
he was going to beat Hulk Hogan tonight and get the title. And then Luger said, "Flair, you're too much," and just walked off.
Yep.
And that was
This
it.
is another great 10-second Lex Luger promo. You can clearly see why the WCW would want to poach him. He's like a master on the mic.
He is.
So do you guys actually know the story
The whole
about
package.
Luger?
Is there a story about Luger?
Yeah, so Luger actually, well, I don't know if he started out in WCW, but he was in WCW before he went to the WWF and was just kind of a headache to deal with, I guess, at the time.
You're
And
talking about attitude-wise?
Yeah. And so when his contract was up with WWF, Bischoff did not want to bring Luger in. But Sting was very good friends with Luger and convinced Bischoff to take a risk on him.
Oh, just like at the end of the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Like
so,
Teen Heart.
It's poetic, it rhymes.
So Luger actually went to WCW for a pretty small contract. He wasn't getting paid very well. I guess he was just unhappy in the WWF.
Yeah. But I thought you said that they were looking at Luger as a replacement for...
The WWF was.
Oh, WWF.
So when Hogan left WWF, he was kind of Vince McMahon's replacement
Yeah.
for Hulk Hogan, and they tried to push him like crazy, and
Just didn't work?
It just didn't work.
Yeah. I can see why. They made
It's
him...
not good.
They didn't make him just come out of the ring and just pose.
Right? He can't. He can't cut promos at all, so he can't do the Hogan
Right.
thing.
It is funny when he does them.
and
Great
he's
at
still
wrestling.
he's really
He's
bad in the ring.
He's
so-
okay. He's okay.
No, he's
No, he's
really
pretty
bad.
Pretty bad.
Like,
Yeah.
He's worse than Hogan in the ring.
yeah,
Okay, fine.
they're main event.
Yeah. I'm forgiving.
So now we got VK Wall Street. He's already
Yeah.
changed his name, second week.
Reboot.
And this is kind of poking fun at Vince McMahon, VK, Vincent Kennedy, McMahon. He's squared off against Sting,
Who was green this week? Sting update, or Sting color
changed from
update.
purple to green.
Right.
But, yeah.
All right.
We gotta keep track.
Yeah.
So at the start of this
He has
match,
different powers according to his color palette.
Exactly.
is that how that works?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one was the extra stamina one. The
Yeah.
other one was,
It was extra
charisma or something. He had a
charisma,
plus
I
2
guess.
charisma.
I don't know.
All right. So start of this match, Bischoff gave the results for the Raw main event and said it was taped 2 weeks ago, so don't bother watching it. So this was something they did fairly often during this time because Nitro was live, Raw was taped. They were trying to get people to watch their show.
Yep.
So they would just give the results of Raw and tell people not to watch it.
And I hear that worked sometimes and not other times.
Yeah, the most famous instance of this is when Mick Foley won his first WWF Championship on Raw, and Bischoff gave the results of that, and it completely backfired on WCW and Raw. That was the first week that Raw had beat Nitro in the ratings in like over a year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like Mick Foley wins his first title, you're gonna want to watch that.
Right. So
you're kind of just like hyping up your competitor.
That was kind of the start of the turnaround of Raw. So Sting won this match clean with a flying crossbody. No surprise, Sting's one of the biggest stars in WCW. Wall Street's just kind of a whatever guy. He's just there.
He had a dollar bill sign on his suit.
Also, I don't think we mentioned previously, Wall Street was known as IRS in the WWF before.
And he's the father of Bray Wyatt.
Yes, he's Bray Wyatt's father and
The other guy, Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas. And he was in the $1 Million Man stable in WWF.
So that's why they just kept the money gimmick? 'Cause it's a dumb
Yeah,
gimmick.
that's what they did. They would take the guys from WWF, have them have the same gimmick, and change their name.
That's stupid.
I
I guess it worked out, I mean, at the time.
I mean, for a short while there, yeah, they were winning.
But that's a dumb idea. I'm not a fan of the whole, oh, he's rich gimmick. It works sometimes,
Oh,
but
yeah. It works best when it's like he's rich and he's the boss man, like with Vince.
yeah, you have to have something more than just a suit with a dollar sign on it,
Right.
at least.
So you know,
Yeah.
$1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, when he was doing that gimmick,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon would actually legitimately give him
Money.
a ton of spending money.
Oh shit,
Oh,
really?
Because this was when they were still trying to, keep the
legitimacy kayfabe.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And so Ted DiBiase would just be able to go on the road and spend money like crazy and live up life because that's what his gimmick was.
That's a good gimmick to have.
Yeah.
I take back what I just said.
So next up we had Scott Norton versus Macho Man. So I'm not sure if this was the debut match for Scott Norton or what, because last week was just kind of very strange. They didn't introduce him at all.
Yeah, I don't
He
remember.
just kind of showed up and started yelling.
Yeah.
He said he signed a contract, so I'm assuming he's new to the company. So again, just kind of a very strange way to introduce a new
And
wrestler.
I
Wasn't
guess,
a title
I guess
match, was it?
that's
No.
like part of the problem with how they did the first Nitro. Like they kind of went in. I mean, obviously, people who watch wrestling are gonna know Hulk Hogan. They're gonna know Macho Man, but like they didn't really do much to introduce their people. They kind of went into it like this brand new. We're trying to get this out to like the mainstream public and make it big. And we expect you to already know who every single wrestler is.
Well, they did have a show on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense not to
Right.
introduce all the people they already had because they did have a show going on and they had a fan base who was going to make up the majority of their viewers. But if you're bringing someone new in, which it seems like this is the case with Scott Norton because you mentioned he signed a contract,
yeah.
he wanted to wrestle. And
You
they
should have
didn't introduce him at all.
no
They didn't
segment.
explain who he was. He was just kind of this big guy yelling.
Ringside, yeah. Okay.
We don't know where he came from. I mean, I know who Scott Norton is just because I watched WCW in the 90s.
A weirdo.
Yeah, just very strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, him and Macho Man had a match. Norton was working Macho Man's back most of the match. They're putting him over pretty well as like a kind of a monster.
Yeah.
Big guy.
And then the kind of running theme, Dungeon of Doom ran out. The shark falls on Scott Norton, so he cannot move.
Just like
Yeah,
sits on
yeah,
his
yeah.
knees.
He's knocked out unconscious.
So he was immediately after entering the ring, he gets knocked out and falls on his lap.
And it just sits there and the ref doesn't care.
Yeah, the ref oddly.
Right, this wasn't a disqualification for some reason.
Right.
But the other guy sadly got disqualified for doing something after the match.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, there are rules in WCW. You don't break them.
Yeah.
So Bischoff actually called him Avalanche, which
Yeah.
was
Oh, and
his name
I-
previously.
I did notice that. I did notice that. Yeah.
That was interesting. So yeah, Norton couldn't move. Macho Man hits the elbow off the top rope and pins him with the Shark still laying
on his legs.
still laying on him.
The ref's just like, yeah, whatever.
And Norton was basically no-selling the elbow too the whole time.
Yeah.
He was acting like
Well,
he
he's
was
the big
trying to
guy.
get up.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I know he's the big guy, but that's Macho Man's
Yeah, I
finisher.
know.
Like,
It was sarcastic.
right.
Whatever.
So it was a pretty stupid match.
Yeah. No, it's just the stable that they have terrorizing the group
Right.
is just goofy as all fuck.
Yeah.
I don't find them menacing, but
Which-
I guess later maybe.
And that kind of goes into what Ian was saying, where like
Ah!
Redo that.
that kind of goes into what Cid was saying, where they didn't really introduce their storylines or anything, their wrestlers, about what was going on, and so we don't really know who the Dungeon of Doom are or what's going on
Or why they're attacking them.
Right.
But it's the Dungeon of Doom. We got like a shark guy,
like-
and we got like
Yeah, a bunch of random fucks, and they don't talk
Yeah.
about them by name. They're just like a horde of jobbers.
So
Random
it's
Whatever.
it's Kevin Sullivan, the Shark, Kamala,
Come on.
and then I
Poor
don't know
Kamala.
what name he was using at this time, but it was the guy that played Brutus the Beefcake Barber.
Oh,
in WWF. He was
yeah.
then the disciple later in WCW.
Goddamn.
He was Hulk Hogan's best
Yeah,
friend and
yeah.
basically followed him around and got a job because of it.
I can't remember what the name of his character is right now, but whatever.
I don't think they've mentioned it on TV.
No, they haven't. It's just some random fuck. Whatever.
Are there any promos between this and the main event?
No, so then it was just the main event, Luger versus Hogan.
This was a fucking terrible match. Worse than like anything else. Like literally the first half of the match was just Hogan and Luger trading headlocks and taunts. That was it.
It was. I
That
don't.
was it.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's pretty much standard for a Hogan match. It was my opinion.
That goes into what Clean was saying earlier about
They both
like,
suck.
the appeal
They're both
of Hogan.
sucky wrestlers. Yes.
He's a bad wrestler.
This was Luger.
Yep, Lex
Yeah,
Luger and Hogan.
yeah.
So yeah, kind of a nothing match. Hogan actually he hit the leg drop on Luger.
Right. This was for the title,
before that,
too.
Luger put Hogan in the
Was this for
torture
the-
rack.
Was this
Yeah,
for
it
the-
was. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was for the title.
Oh.
Luger put Hogan in the torture rack. They did the whole gimmick of passing out with the referee.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
dropping
That's
the
right.
arm.
That's right. And he kept staying.
The
in there.
referee actually, I think, dropped his arm like 4 times. But,
Yeah.
Nobody caught him.
but
Ah,
so
whatever.
Luger thought it was 3 and that he won, and the ref said, "Oh no, it was only 2."
Yeah.
So the match wasn't over. Then Luger goes for the pin. Hogan kicks out, comes back.
Hulks
This
up.
whole
Hulking up.
whatever you do can't hurt me. I'm
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan thing.
Does he-
that he does in every match.
Yeah. Well, the Hulkamania.
Hulking out.
Yeah, the Hulksters in the audience
Hulk
provide him with.
smash.
Yeah, his powers.
So Hogan gives him the big boots and then the leg drop. And he goes for the pin. So, I mean, Hogan still looks like he's going to win.
Guess who
Hogan.
comes out? Who comes out, Clean Gene?
Right, before he gets the pin, Dungeon of Doom comes out again.
Oh, the Dungeon of Doom.
Dungeons and Dragons.
So Sting and Macho Man
Dragons.
come out to make the save. And then
They run away.
they do.
Yeah,
They run away, and then we got another promo of Hogan and Luger yelling at each other. Hogan and Macho Man want to know why the Dungeon of Doom did not attack Lex Luger.
Because that matters.
They accuse him of being on their side.
But why does that matter? I don't understand why that
Sting's the
matters.
mediator again.
Yep.
Sting is the true WCW man.
But I don't understand why that matters.
Sting saying, "No, you guys are wrong. We can trust him.
Yeah.
He's
Even
on
though-
our side. He's a good guy."
But I want the title shot later on, maybe.
Well, you can't have it, brother. I'm gonna slap you.
No, you're not. You're gonna give me the title shot later, and I'm gonna agree to be in your team.
Only if Sting says so, brother.
And then you're supposed to be Macho Man Randy Savage. You have to say, no, I can't.
No.
Yeah. We're outvoted because there's 4 votes and there's 3 of us.
Right.
And also the demon team didn't beat the shit out of Mouth of the South for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that.
I don't know what the fuck. It's like some weird red scare in the WWE.
Yeah.
They're like, you're accusing each other of being communist. I don't get the point. We haven't established why the Dungeon of Doom is bad, other than they just show up.
They
don't like
randomly
Hulk Hogan.
interfere.
They don't like
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan. They don't eat their pastaroni.
No.
Pastaroni.
Pastaroni. Whoa. This isn't Booker T's pasta. Pastaroni.
Yeah, this is just the Pastamania.
The Hulkaroonie.
So yeah, Sting brings up Vader's AWOL, so they need someone to replace him in the match coming up on the pay-per-view. Macho Man says no, we don't want Luger. Sting says yes. My vote's yes.
Because it's an election. It's like a democracy.
Yeah,
Sting says they got 4 votes, and Macho Man only got 1. I don't know who the 4th vote is.
It's either Jimmy Hart or it's just Sting again.
I think
Only
Sting.
3 people voiced their votes, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, Sting. I mean,
Maybe.
they proposed that he join them and then argued about it before he even accepted. So
Maybe
This is true.
Maybe
Luger
that's
was the
why.
4th vote.
Maybe that's why Mongo McMichael had his dog there again. His dog was the 4th vote.
That's possible. So yeah, Hogan says, Sting, if you want him, my vote's yes. Then they ask Luger if he wants to join. Sting says, don't make me look stupid. Luger says, I'm in, but only if I get a title match later on. And Macho Man says, see, he's got ulterior motives.
Yeah.
But
And
Hogan
everyone
says-
ignores Macho Man pretty much.
And Hogan's like, okay, I'll do that again because I'm Hogan.
So, yep, they've set up the pay-per-view, the main event's a War Games match with Hogan,
War Games.
Sting, Macho Man, and Luger.
Did they change the name of the paper?
Against the Dungeon of Doom. So no, the pay-per-view is Fall Brawl, and the type of match is a gimmick match. It's called War Games.
Okay, I was confused.
Yeah. The episode ends with them all yelling at each other.
Yelling agreements.
yelling
I
at
agree
each
with
other.
you. Yes, we
Yeah.
are agreeing with you.
And then I think it was
don't
Mongo
agree, but I'm okay.
McMichael says or yells, "They're going at it again!"
Right, as the screen was fading away.
Screen's
And again,
fading
he's
out.
got a chihuahua.
Yeah, with a mariachi costume
Yeah,
this
and,
time.
and another costume. I don't know what the deal with the chihuahua is at the end of the show.
It's to appeal to pet owners is the demographic. It's very calculated to the marketing demographic.
So that's the second episode of Nitro.
Better than the first? Question mark. Yeah.
I don't know because
It's better
the
production.
It's better production for sure. But if the Sting versus Flair match from the first, I think
better.
is still the
Yeah, that was
highlight
better than anything on this
of
show.
Yeah.
both of Nitro so far.
None of these matches were any good.
They
It
were
was
all
nothing.
garbage.
That whole Dungeon of Doom thing is just stupid.
Yeah, it
Well,
makes no real sense.
I mean,
They
all
don't-
these guys are big
Jobbers.
like gimmicks that, yeah, they should be opening match jobbers. I don't know what they're doing in the main event of the pay-per-view.
and
I
like,
mean, I know Kevin Sullivan, I think he was the booker at the time, so I'm sure that has something to do with it.
and like, yeah, probably.
Did they have any other big heels, or were they just face heavy?
I mean, Flair's a heel, and he's one of the biggest
Yeah.
stars in the in the wrestling world.
Like, and they also all just kind of, the Dungeon of Doom members both times just kind of like run in and fall down right away, so it's like they don't even set them up as like a big intimidating group.
Right,
They
they
set
just get
them up as
destroyed.
dumbasses
Yeah.
who
I mean,
come in and fall down like Three Stooges or something.
They
or
came
clowns.
out to attack the Macho Man.
And they all fell
He
over each
gets
other.
knocked out and just falls on his opponent. Like, what?
And where were the other like 3 that time? Just
They
passed
jumped.
out as
Yeah, no,
well?
they got hit once and they jumped out of the ring.
Yeah,
So not
okay.
only can they not do anything to Hogan, they can't even do anything to Hogan's teammates.
Right.
Yeah, they don't seem very threatening. But I guess the appeal of this, the setup for this match is, can they trust Luger? And I
Right.
presume they're setting up some sort of twist. I haven't seen it. I don't care.
Doesn't mean it's done well.
I agree. They're not very threatening.
No.
But
So
this isn't a threatening match. It's more about
Re-
if they can work together. Can you trust us? Give me your hand. I want to hold your hand.
the overall production was better.
Production better.
Wrestling was bad.
Yeah.
And there wasn't as much just kind of like random confusion. There was just
Yeah.
the Luger thing at the beginning of the show with Ric Flair. That was about it.
So good.
I mean, it's fine. It's an hour show.
Yeah.
So we just also watched the Raw episode. It aired September 11th, 1995, and this is the episode that was spoiled on the Nitro episode we just talked about. So, yeah.
Yep. So we got Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler as our announce team. No Jim Ross. I'm not sure what he was doing at this time.
Jerry Lawler still dressed better than he is today.
Show opens up, and they've got some highlights from the SummerSlam match with Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. After the highlights, we've got the match Razor Ramon and British Bulldog with Jim Cornette in the British Bulldog's corner.
Right, and this match starts off at the beginning. It's pretty weird because we get a USA chant from a small section of the crowd. And this is a match between a British guy and an alleged Cuban guy.
So they were obviously chanting for Jim Cornette.
Yeah. Right, they must have been.
Yeah.
So
order.
Dean Douglas, also known as Shane Douglas, interfered with the ref down. He hit Razor Ramon off the top rope with, I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Right.
Looked like he barely touched him.
It was kind of like a straight jump off, and then he just landed like near Razor Ramon.
It was pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
And then the 1-2-3 kid comes out for the save, and then
Inadvertently costs him.
The ref sees him and ends up costing Razor Ramon a match disqualification.
Vince comes up to the ring and he has
him.
like this weird Jerry Springer, like, or Dr. Phil, tell us how you feel. 1, 2, 3 kid.
And Jerry the King Lawler is talking over this entire thing.
Right.
So fucking obnoxious.
He has like absolutely no idea how to like professionally cast something.
So you couldn't hear half of what Vince McMahon was saying because Jerry Lawler was talking over the entire
I'm sure it didn't
thing.
matter.
It was like brilliant commentary, like, "Ha! This is great."
Oh, that's what he said.
So essentially, Vince McMahon said 1, 2, 3 kid cost Razor Ramon the match.
1, 2, 3
kid said, "No, I didn't. You cost me the match last week.
I want to fight you."
To prove some respect to you, because I love you, but I'm going to beat you.
Then Razor Ramon kind of staggers around.
Yeah, and you know
he's
what?
Like, obviously, like, he has to be drunk, right?
No, because he just wrestled a whole match, and he did a great job. It wasn't a bad match.
Like, so maybe he's a functional alcoholic. I mean, like, the dude's like a legendary alcoholic, so...
He is a legendary alcoholic. However...
But, so he starts off by just kind of stumbling around and throwing together these completely incoherent sentences, like, Dean Douglas, hit me, 1, 2, 3 kid, oh, he cost me the match.
If you want it, and Vince wants it, and everybody else wants it, then let's do it.
And noticeably missing from... everything except for his name is his Cuban accent.
Yeah, he only does his name, Ramon.
Ramon.
He rolls his R for Ramon, and then that's it.
Razor.
And, whatever, it works. I mean, whatever. Nobody gives a fuck.
It's still a good match.
Nobody gives a fuck that he's not Cuban.
Right.
So yeah, this basically just set up a match for next week on Raw. 1, 2, 3 kid versus Razor Ramon. Then also, we got Dean Douglas and Razor Ramon at the next pay-per-view, which is in 2 weeks.
And that is in your house?
Yes, in your house.
No, in your house.
Oh, what if it's in my house?
I don't want to be your house.
Well, I don't want to be there either. I'm going in your house.
My house is air-conditioned.
That's true.
So then we've got Smoking Guns versus Radford.
Which we had to look up because they said Brad Bradford. I'm positive.
Yeah, we heard both Brad Bradford and Brad Radford.
Right.
And I heard Braddy Radford.
Yeah, but his name was actually Radford. This was just a
and Brawler
match. Yeah, Brooklyn Brawler was there as well. Smoking Guns won.
Super fast. Match was like tops 2 minutes long.
Yeah, and it was good. I liked it. It was clean. I mean, it was. I
mean, I'm a fan of Billy Gunn. So
yeah, me too. And it worked out well. It was an okay match.
Well, you got a problem with that, Clean Gene?
Yeah, Billy Gunn is not a very good wrestler.
What? This is a good time for Billy Gunn. He's a solid mid-carder, dependable. He is a good match. It's fine. They're all used to wrestling, and it didn't suck. So, good combination of stuff.
So the Guns went quick, and then we get to what some might say is the highlight of the show, the Goldust promo.
Where he said absolutely nothing.
He quoted Night of the Living Dead and then was vaguely menacing towards Undertaker.
The black evil cloud that now hovers over the World Wrestling Federation will soon be sent to the heavens, never to be heard from again. courtesy of gold dust.
He said, gold doesn't shed darkness. Or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
It was whatever. I mean, he wasn't going full on homosexual, and that's unfortunate because I think he's best when he goes just full on gay. Like, I'm gonna give that zombie a stiff or something. Like, if that he could have done something.
There wasn't really any innuendo.
No, there's no innuendo, and so whatever. But I mean, I like Goldust a lot.
It's a classic Goldust promo.
I fucking love Goldust. Sorry, it's just my one thing.
It's the one thing.
Yeah.
If you had to describe Lowblow in one word, it would be Goldust.
It'd be Goldust. And, I mean, Cid Lectro has got a boner for Sting. I got a boner for Goldust. Clean Gene over here has a boner for, I don't know.
Like Jim Neidhart.
Jim Neidhart.
So next up, we had Isaac Yankem,
Hell
DBS, versus Scott Taylor.
A.K.A. Kane versus Scotty Too Hottie.
It was fun. It was fun seeing that. I don't know. It was silly because they're like, it's not their gimmicks they're known for. So it's cute.
So this was another squash match. Kane won.
I'm not even gonna bother calling him.
He still just
He
does
did a
choke
choke slam,
slams.
yeah.
Did the choke slam. He didn't do a tombstone.
And his entrance music is just a fucking dentist drill. Oh my god, it's so annoying.
He's a heel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It works. It works. Heels can have annoying entrance themes.
So after this, we had Todd Pettengill talking about the upcoming pay-per-view in your house. It's coming up in 2 weeks. Helps up the main event. This is the triple header match.
Oh yeah.
With Diesel and Shawn Michaels against Owen Hart and Yokozuna. So all titles are on the line in this match.
It's a clusterfuck. Who's like, and supposedly it's Gorilla Monsoon's idea. For this match?
Yeah.
Interim president Gorilla Monsoon.
Why is he interim president? Do we not?
I don't know.
Whatever.
So Yokozuna and Owen Hart are the tag team champions.
Who's supposed to be the president of the company in terms of the show? Do you have any idea?
Gorilla Monsoon?
Gorilla Monsoon.
Well, I mean, like,
Who's
interim.
for?
I don't know who was. So yeah, Owen Hart and Yokozuna are the tag champions. Diesel's the world champion. Shawn Michaels is the intercontinental champion. So essentially, if either Diesel or Shawn Michaels pin either Yokozuna or Owen Hart, they will become the tag team champions. If Yokozuna pins Diesel, Yokozuna becomes the world champion.
Is it Yokozuna? He has. Is it
If
that
Yokozuna pins Shawn Michaels, he becomes the intercontinental champion.
clusterfuck?
If Owen Hart
Pins either of them, he gets
becomes
their
the world champion.
Yeah, he gets the respective belts. You pin the belt holder, you get the belt.
Right.
And
So either way,
tag teams at a disadvantage. Yes.
yeah. Went over some other matches. I don't really remember what they were.
There were a lot of bullshit matches. There was
Razor Ramon and Dean Douglas was one. Bret
French-
Hart against one of the Quebecers.
the French Pirate. Yeah. A couple nobodies. There was a nobody versus nobody match.
Bam Bam Bigelow was against somebody.
It doesn't matter. We'll see it. Maybe we'll see.
So next up was the main event. We got Psycho Sid versus Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental title. Again, Eric Bischoff spoiled this match.
Oh
on
wait!
Nitro.
But before they started the match, they were like, "Hey, maybe you should buy yourself a Shawn Michaels hat. He wears this shit to the ring. It's super fashionable. It'll go with your denim jacket and your assless chaps. You can wear it wherever you go.
And the sunglasses.
Only $20, $25.
The heart-shaped sunglasses.
$25, $3.99 shipping. Looked on eBay. They're selling that shit for like $10. You can't get rid of that shit. There's just boxes and boxes of those fucking hats that nobody would wear because who the fuck is gonna wear a zebra leather hat? Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
But I just wanted to say
It's important information.
that I need to get one of those hats right away. Just call 1-800-TITAN and get yourself one of those fucking hats.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So Shawn Michaels wins clean the super kick. Just like Bischoff said, it was actually like 3 super kicks.
Come on, Bischoff, you're a liar.
Bishop kind of undersold it because it was a pretty good match.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just Shawn Michaels. You have a good match with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shawn Michaels starts stripping in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
And then Vince McMahon got very, very excited about this.
Extremely excited.
Well, yeah.
We can't, oversell it.
And, yeah, I mean...
And then after that, we went backstage with Diesel and Shawn Michaels.
And Doc Hendricks.
And, yeah, right. And then Diesel's like, we're 2 dudes with tudes, but we're also 2 chaps
with all the straps. We got straps. We
Yeah.
got chaps.
Because they're going to win the
What?
match at the pay-per-view
Right.
and get all the belts.
They got all the straps.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's what they
For
meant
the
by
chaps.
straps.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at all.
And also, don't forget to mention, the entire time, there is this, like, creepy dude wearing, like, full face paint, like, white face paint,
Black
like, dyed
lipstick.
black hair, black lipstick. He looked kind of like the girl from The Ring or Marilyn Manson. And the entire time, he was, like, staring off to the left of the ring. He wasn't watching. He had, like, zero reaction ever. And he was constantly, like, in the shot throughout, like, pretty much every match of the show.
No
Never
reaction.
had a reaction, just sitting
Could have
there.
been a mannequin for all we know.
Could have been a mannequin. There are no signs of life.
It's a seat filler.
It was a seat filler.
A vampiric seat filler.
Right.
It was a good look. It was a good look. I mean, it's pre-Columbine, so I mean, you can get away with that, right?
We're not sure. It might have been Lowblow.
It could have been me. I mean, I did dress a lot like that. Had the pointy boots and everything.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you guys think of Raw?
I thought it was much better than
Either
Nitro,
Yeah.
just because of the much better talent.
Yeah.
Like, the King was still kind of a shitty announcer, but Vince wasn't terrible.
Yeah, so they, I mean,
Match for
obviously
match.
they had better matches,
Yeah.
and the show was more focused overall.
Uh-huh.
There was nothing going on where you were like, what is the point of this?
Right.
Where did this come from?
Right.
It all made sense.
It was not a random faction running around doing shit.
So, like, even if you're just coming into it, the promos established, like, enough, like the 1, 2, 3 kid, Scott Hall, I'm sorry, Razor Ramon, like, little argument, they gave you enough information to be able to tell what's happening, even if you didn't know, like, the history with those two guys behind the scenes.
So the main event for the
In Your House?
In Your House is...
Let's see, triple header match. So Diesel and Shawn Michaels versus Yokozuna and Owen Hart.
Okay.
So-
They're both two clusterfuck matches at these next two pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that WCW, the pay-per-view, was this coming Sunday, that same week. And the only match they've even mentioned is that main event. Whereas on this show, the pay-per-view's 2 weeks away, and they basically gave us the whole card.
Right.
It's much more prepared, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it seems like WCW is just kind of like, we got Hulk Hogan, and that's the match that matters.
Yeah.
We're going to throw everything behind that. We're going to put
Yeah.
everybody in that match. Everybody's going to be in that match. And is there anything on the line for that match? No, not really. War Games?
No, it's just...
Yeah, it's just, look at
Just a
these two
feud match.
fighting.
But we don't establish why they're feuding.
I mean, even when Lex Luger demands a title shot at the end of the second Nitro, it's not for at the pay-per-view, it's sometime down the line, I want a title shot.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, what? What about at the pay-per-view this weekend? That would be a good time for a title shot.
Well, they got the other match.
Yeah, they got their War
They got
Games.
their War Game done match.
So we're saying for this first episode, Raw wins.
Both
Definitely.
Of them. Yeah, with
Yeah.
both two.
The Beats, it takes on 2 episodes of Nitro, and it
blows them away.
It falls on them like
Yeah.
Shark fell on Scott Norton.
Well, that was exciting. How do you want to close this?
Do we have the ratings?
Fuck the ratings. I don't want to look them up.
So next episode, we're going to have a special pay-per-view edition, I believe, where we'll be watching WCW Fall Brawl.
Versus In Your House?
No, because
Or
they're
SummerSlam.
not at the same time.
Okay.
Oh,
So I
son
think
of a
we'll
bitch.
just do Fall Brawl.
Alright.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do that then right fucking now. Turn on the air conditioner.
Is that what we're ending?
Yeah.
Turn on the air conditioner.
Turn on the air conditioner.
Get the
I'll
tables.
see you next time. This is Cid Lectro for
This is Lowblow.
Monday Night Boar. And Clean Gene's turning on the air, so we
Woo!
win!
Air conditioner. Fuck you, Mean Gene.